Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video we will create some dynamic tabs in React Native. Walker actually posted this question on the Discord channel and I gave it a try, and this is what we are going to build. And we are going to use a flat list in order to have this carousel type and the list of items, and the underline it's going to actually modify the width based on the active slide from the flat list. In order to do that, I'll show you some tricks for layout measurements and how to actually achieve this. So let's play the intro and jump straight into VS Code and start building these dynamic tabs plus a flat list. Shall we? Alrighty guys, so we are in VS Code here. I've already created a boilerplate using Expo. The link to the starter code, it's down in the description. So whatever you see now on the screen, you'll get it from the link specified there. I also specified it here, but you can follow up the link, download the source code or inject it into your VS Code and start along with me. So let me walk you through what we have so far. We have an images object here with some different keys: man, woman, kids, skull candy, and help. Each one has its own image assigned to it. And then we have a data that's iterating over these object keys and get the key, title, and the image. So nothing fancy. And first, let's start by building the carousel itself. So first I would like to get the dimensions and flat list, also animated. And from the dimensions we'll need to take width and height. From dimensions, get screen, right, cool. And down below let's remove the text, we don't need it anymore. And we'll have, let's directly call this animated flat list. We'll have data, key extractor, item and item key, and the render item is going to be item, and here we'll display a view. So return a view. Inside the view we'll have an image, right? Source, URI, is going to be item image, and we'll have some style, and we'll have this flex one and resize mode of color. All right, image is not defined. Let's import the image. Okay, and we have this image, right? This is not visible mainly because the wrapper or the view in our case doesn't have any width or height. So let's assign this to be width and height. So basically it's going to stretch the entire screen of the mobile screen, right? And now this is vertical. Let's make this horizontal. Also show horizontal indicator is going to be false. And to make this carousel, we can enable the paging, and it's going to snap directly, mainly because the item within the flat list has the screen width. So we don't need to scroll to interval, but we can directly enable the paging. And I would also like to remove the bounces. So this is the bounces, right? I would like to remove this. And now bounce is false, sorry. All right, so there are no bounces. Along with the image, we can create a dummy backdrop, right? So we'll have a background color. Actually, this is going to be positioned absolute, so style sheet absolute fill object, and background color is going to be black. Or let's do directly RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.3. All right. Now we have the slider. Also, since this is an animated, let's create here a scrollX which is a React useRef new animated API value starting from 0, get the current. The reason why I'm using useRef and not state or other stuff is because React will keep this reference, and whenever the component is going to be re-rendered or is going to receive new props, this animated value is not going to be changed, which is really important, and it's performant anyhow. And with this scrollX, we can get the onScroll event, which is an animated event, and here we'll get from native event the content offset. We'll get the X and assign it to the scrollX. And importantly, for this particular tutorial, we'll not be using the native driver, mainly because the indicator or the tabs indicator is going to change its width, and useNative driver it's only working for transforms and opacity. So for width, unfortunately, it's not working. And with this in mind, nothing should change. scrollX, now it's actually modified based on the scroll position. And along with the FlatList, let's create here some tabs. Pass the scrollX and data as data. And for the tabs, create the tabs component. So const tabs, it's equal to a method, get the data and scrollX, and it's going to return a view, and inside the view we'll have another view for the tabs. So this is the tabs, and here we will iterate over the data map item. We'll return here a tab, pass the key as item key, and pass the item as item. And the tab, create it here. So tab is going to receive the item and is going to return a view and the text inside with item title, right? All right, so this is visible here, and let's position the entire view absolute. So let's style this. Position the absolute. We'll get the top of 100, so this is going to be here. It's not visible, so let's change the color white. All right, this is visible now. And for the wrapper, what I would like to do is give this different style as well. So we'll justify the content space evenly, right? Nothing is happening because this one should have a width. Actually, the width is going to be here, and this one should have a flex one maybe. Oh, you know what? The reason is because we need to flex direction row. All right, so now this is working. This is beautiful. Let's give it a background color red so you'll see it, right? Without this one, it will still take the entire space, but we'll like to modify the flex direction to be raw. All right, let's remove the red and style just a little bit the items here. So I'll save this as a font size, and let's decrease and increase the font size based on data length. So it's going to be 84 divided by data length. Let's see how this is actually looking. It's looking okay. And font weight is going to be bold. We'll transform the text to uppercase. All right, and now if I go here and remove this help, it's going to increase inside skull candy as well. All right, so this is looking pretty good. And so this is everything. Plus, I would like to create the indicator. So indicator here down below. And indicator is going to be a component. So const indicator. It's going to receive nothing for now, but it's going to return a view. And this view is going to be positioned absolute as well. So style, position absolute, we'll give this a height of 4 maybe. All right, width of, let's say, 100 for now, and the background color of white. All right, and bottom is going to be maybe -10. Yeah, this is looking really good. So we will change this indicator width, don't worry about it for now. So we have all the designs in place. The first thing that I would like to do is get the measurements for each particular tab. And in order to do that, we need to use measureLayout plus findNodeHandle from React Native. So let me first create a findNodeHandle from React Native. And in order to get the measure layouts, we need to forward the ref, or to get the ref for each particular tab. And when the tabs component is going to be mounted, we will iterate over each particular reference for each particular tab, measure the layout based on the parent container, and assign it to the state. So in order to do that, first thing first, create here a ref for each particular item. So when we create the items, create here a ref. So React create ref. So instead, addition to key, title, and image, we have a ref for each particular item. Secondly, when we iterate over the data, let's pass here the ref. So it's going to be item ref. And this tab should be a React forward ref. Get the ref as well. And here have a ref of ref. All right, so nothing is changed visually, but now we have access to the to each particular tab ref, and we can measure the layout. So in order to measure the layout here inside the tabs, we will use the effect, and we will iterate over the data. For each data, we'll get the item, and item, we know that we have the ref, and get the current, and we can measure the layout. And this measure layout, you need to specify the relative node where to measure, right? It's either the window, the screen size, or a particular container. And in our case, we would like to measure the layout based on this view, right, that contains all the tabs. So in order to do that, we need to create also a ref for this container as well. So here we'll have const ref, it's equal to React use ref, and pass this ref to the measure layout. So measure layout is going to be container.current, right? And now there will be like two different methods. The first one is the success, and the second one is the fail. So here on the success, we'll get the X, Y, width, and height. So this is, let me do this differently. All right. So we measure the layout based on the container and get the X, Y, width, and height on the success. And now we will do something. I don't know. Let's console log for now. X, Y, width, and height. Let's open up the console here. And now when I hit save, you'll see that for each particular item, we get some values, like layout values, layout measurements, X, Y, width, and height. And with those in mind, let's create here, before doing anything, measures. And also the state, so measures and set measures. It's going to be a React use state with an empty array for now. And let's define this differently. So when we will get all the measurements, we would like to set the measurements with the measurements that we have, right? And here we create an empty array, and we will populate this empty array here inside the onSuccess callback. So we'll have m push, and we will have, we can define this as a let, it doesn't matter, and we'll have the x, y, width and height. And now to set the measurements, we will check if the m length it's equal to data length, meaning that we are at the last measurement, right? We would like to set the measurements with all the measurements. Now if I console log measures and open this, okay, this is complaining because we would like to run it only initially, right? So as you can see, we had an infinite loop because this one is going to set measurements over and over again. So we would like to run it only once, basically. Right, and we have height, width, x and y, which is amazing. And with those measurements, we would like to send this to the indicator. So first we would like to check if measures length is greater than 0, then we would like to display the indicator, right? And here as a prop, we'll send the measures and the scrollX, which is scrollX. Now if we go to the indicator, now we will get the measures and scrollX. And what we would like to do, first transform this animated view to be an animated view, and we would like to play with the width and translate. So let's assign actually left 0, just for the sake of this demo, and let's see what will happen with if we pass the measurement the first element. So we'll have left 0, left it's going to be x, and width is going to be width. So this is what will happen if we pass the second one, fourth one and last one. Okay, so this is those two values we will be playing with based on the scrollX. So we will interpolate scrollX, right? So let's do 0 for now and 0. We don't care about the width because we would like to display it based on the scrollX. So here, create the input range. So input range is going to be 0, width multiplied by 2, width multiplied by 3, based on data. And in order to do that, we can get the index from the data. So we map through the data, and here we will say I multiplied by the width. Okay, so this is our input range, basically 0, width multiplied by 2, and so on. And with this, we can say indicator width, it's going to be scrollX, and we'll interpolate. We'll pass the input range, and for the output range, we'll pass the measures. Map, measure, and we'll get the measure width, right? And we can pass this measure width here. So now if we change the position of the slider, you'll see that this indicator is changing the width, but we also need to translate it properly. And we'll use the transform translate x, and translate x is going to be almost the same thing as indicator width, but this time we will get the x value. Hit save. Now you'll see when we change the FlatList position, this indicator is going to be also modified. This is looking really nice. So we took the measurements for each particular tab. We assign it to the state of the tabs. We used findNodeHandle to get the parent reference, and we've modified the indicator width and translate X based on the position of the flat list. The last part is to actually press on this button and to go to that particular slide carousel, right? And to do that, we will need to create here inside the main app const on item press, which is a React, use callback. We will receive the index or the item index. So basically when we press on kids, we will get index 2 and so on and so forth, right? And based on this one, we need to get the reference of the flat list and scroll to offset. So let's get this one here, ref. Okay, create a ref. It's a React, use ref. And here inside the on item press, we'll get the ref, current, and we'll scroll to offset. And the offset in our case is going to be item index multiplied by the width. And the reason why we are multiplying by the width, because this is the width of the slide. If you have, or if the slide width, if you have an example where the slide width is different or it doesn't have the same width as the screen, you can pass this here as well. So it's going to scroll to exactly to the particular item. So now nothing should change because we need to pass this on item press to the tabs. So tabs is going to receive the item press, go to the tabs, get the item on item press. And now for the tab, we also going to pass for each particular tab, right? So on item press, this time is going to be a method that's going to call on item press based on the index and get the index from the data map. And now the tab is going to get the on item press, and we need to wrap everything into a touchable opacity. Is this one imported? No, so we need to import touchable opacity. Okay, so touchable opacity on press is going to have on item press. Great. So now we are at woman, right? But when you press on skull candy, it's going to go there. All right. That was it, guys. Thank you so much for staying so long with me. I hope that you've learned something new. You've learned how to measure the layout in React Native based on the parent container. You also learned how to create these dynamic tabs based on the flat list items. If you have any issues, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer all of them and help you as much as I can. Also, don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, double smash the dislike button. See you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.